Now we are going to discuss about rivers. Rivers. So rivers are path followed by river is called the courses or its valley. It's known as courses or its valley. Okay. Courses and its valley. The courses of river is divided into three sections. First is upper course, second is middle course, and third is lower course. So upper course is because of begins from the source of river is hills and mountain. Hills and mountains are followed by the upper course. Weathering leads to the V-shaped valley. So upper course, if we are talking about the upper course, so there will be a V-shaped valley, and gorges and rapids and cataracts and waterfall. Okay, gorges, rapid, cataracts, cascades, waterfall also form. A canyon is a very deep gorge. Canyon is a very deep gorge. Canyon is a very deep gorge. And Grand Canyon of Colorado River. Colorado River is that. So Brahmaputra and Indus form deep gorge, river valley with almost vertical sides. So this is upper course stage of youth. So gorge, rapid, cascades, waterfall are formed, and weathering leads to the formation of V-shaped valley and begin from the source of river in the hill mountain. A canyon is deep gorge, Grand Canyon of Colorado River, Brahmaputra and Indus. Now second one is the middle course. Middle course are lateral corrosion between V-shaped valley. Okay, it is V-shaped valley. Middle course of that stage maturity is V-shaped valley. Alluvian fane. The example is alluvian fane. And sediments and meandering. Meandering will be there. Meandering and along the course. Okay, lower course. Now we are discussing about the lower course. Lower course is the heavy deposition. Here will be the heavy deposition and sediments in lower plane. So flood plain, Oxbow Lake, and delta, levee and estuaries in the lower course, and delta will be the lower course. Levees, Oxbow Lake, floodplain, these are in the lower course. And in the middle course there will be alluvian fane and meandering. In the upper course there will be rapids, gorge, cascades, waterfall. Okay, and deep valleys also. Grand Canyon valley, deep canyon will be in the upper course. Okay, so now fact: Ganga Brahmaputra delta is the largest delta. River discharge its water through several channels called distributaries. Tributary is a river or stream flowing into a large river, that is called tributaries. River emptying into sea with the shape of gradually widening mouth cutting deep inland are called estuaries. So if river are emptying into the sea, okay, so its shape are gradually widening. So its shape are gradually winding in the depth. Okay, and the mouth cutting deep inland. If this is cutting deep inland, so it is called the estuaries. Narmada and Tapti form estuaries when they join the Arabian Sea. Next one is underground water and landform. So underground water and landforms are water forms. So it is water forms. Okay, this is water forms are Artesian well. Artesian water rises automatically under its own pressure to the surface. If there is a own pressure, that is known as the Artesian well. Springs. This is the water forms. By water. There is the Artesian well, spring. Spring is what? Spring are surface outflow of groundwater through an opening in rock under hydraulic pressure. There is a hydraulic pressure. Hydraulic pressure. Hydraulic pressure is there. So spring or surface outflow of groundwater through an opening in rock under hydraulic pressure. So under the hydraulic pressure, if the surface of outflow of groundwater through an opening in the rock is known as the spring. And hot spring are occur in area of active or recent volcanism. Volcanism is hot spring. A hot spring in Jammu Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Manikarna, Kullu Valley, Tatapani in Shimla, Jharkhand, Rajgir and Sitakund in Jharkhand, Rajgir and Sitakund. So hot spring is what? In Himachal Pradesh it is Manikarnam and Kullu Valley. And in Jharkhand it is Rajgir plus Sitakund. And in Uttarakhand it is Badrinath. And in Assam and in Haryana it is Sohna. Jharkhand it is Rajgarh and Sitakund. Himachal it is Manikarnam and Kullu Valley and Tatapani. Now geysers are spring emitting hot water and steam. This is the hot water and stream in form of fountain jets at regular interval are called geyser. Okay, spring emitting hot water and steam in form of fountain or jet regular interval called the geyser. Spring emitting hot water and steam is known as geyser. Hot water and stream is known as the geyser. Okay, it's fountain. It's a fountain shape jet regular interval are called geyser. Water is forced out by the steam pressure at interval. Now the landforms. It is landforms now. One is sinkhole. Sinkhole is a funnel shape. It is funnel shape. Sinkhole is a funnel shape depression in the region limestone or chalk. Shallow hole. They are cylindrical in shape lying underneath the sinkhole. So it is a shallow hole. The cylindrical shape lying underneath of sinkhole is known as shallow hole. Surface stream often enter the sinkhole and then disappear underground through shallow hole. Cavern. Third one is cavern. Cavern are interconnected subterranean cavities in the bedrock formed by the corrosion of limestone. Limestone is known as the cavern. Okay, and covers India, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, Almora in Himalaya, and Kotamsar in Chhattisgarh. Stalactite. Okay, cavern, then stalactite. Sinkhole is funnel shaped limestone, and shallow hole is the cylindrical and underneath of sinkhole, and cavern is the interconnected subterranean cavity of bedrock. So cavern is the interconnected subterranean cavity bedrock known as corrosion of limestone. This is Dehradun, Uttarakhand, Almora, Kumayu Himalaya and Kotasar Chhattisgarh. Sinkhole is the sinkhole funnel shaped depression, and shallow hole is the cylindrical shape lying underneath of sinkhole. Of surface stream often enter the sinkhole and disappear under to the shallow hole. Stalactite is the solid conical deposition. Hanging from the cavern roof are called the stalactite. It is hanging roofs are from the called as stalactite. They are formed by the evaporation of water and continuing limestone in the solution. Next is stalemate. Stalemate is the broad conical pillar. It is the conical pillar developing on the floor. If it is on the floor, cavern are called as stalemate, and they are formed by the evaporation. It is formed by the evaporation of water drift from the stalemate containing limestone in the solution. Wind and sea wave landforms. Wind and sea. Now the landform from the wind and sea. Wind and sea. So erosional landform from the mushroom rock. First of all, erosional. Erosional are known as the mushroom rock. Mushroom rock. Mushroom rock. Erosion is stratified rock with alternate layers is known as the hard and so alternative hard and soft rock are known as the mushroom rock. Wind erosion basin. Now depositional. Wind depositional are the sand dunes. There will be sand dunes, and sand dune will be Barchan. Okay, first is the Barchan. So Barchan is isolated heap and free sand. It's heap, isolated heap and free sand, also called the crescent dune. Crescent dune is known as the Barchan. Crescent dune are known as the Barchan. And second is the Seif dune. Seif dune are also sand dune and long narrow ridge sand lying parallel to the direction of the prevailing wind, common to the Thar desert. Seif is also common to the Thar, and Seif dune are long narrow ridge. It's a long and narrow ridge are known as the Seif, parallel to the direction of the prevailing wind. Loess. Now there is a loess. So loess is the fine and unstratified accumulation of clay and silt, and mostly carried in large quantity of dust storm. There is a dust storm in the loess. Okay. Now erosional landform. Erosional landform by sea wave. Sea wave. By sea wave. One is sea cliff. Sea cliff. Second is sea cave. Sea cave. Third is sea arch. Sea arch. Cliff, cave, arch, and sea stakes. Sea stakes. Okay, so impact of sea wave erode the lower part of the coastal rock is known as the sea cliff. The upper part of the coastal rock, if eroded, that will be the sea cave. Differential erosion creates a hollow and lower part of rock, leading to the transformation of cave. And now depositional landform of the beach. So first, wind landform, what we talk about: wind mushroom rock and wind eroded basin. And south dune deposition is Barchan, Seif, and Loess. Now in the sea we will discuss sea cliff, sea cave, sea arch, and sea stake. And deposition, beach and sandbar. Sandbars will be there. Current from the embankment of called the sandbar. So there is the embankment of the waves and called the sandbar. Spit will be there. So spit is one end of the sandbar extended into the sea is called the spit. One sandbar extended into the sea is called the spit. Lagoon is the end of the sandbar, part of the sea water between the coast and the forming the lake saline. So lagoon are also formed by the wave erosion. Okay, and lagoon in India are Vemnad Lake, Kerala, and Chilika Lake. Vemnad Lake, Kerala, and Chilika Lake in Odisha. These are lagoons. Now glacier landform. Glacier landform are permanently snow covered region are called the snowfield, and snow accumulated and compact for glacier. Snowfield occur in the polar region and high mountainous areas. Snowfield are always found snow lines, imaginary lines towards the permanent snow. Factors affecting our latitude. First is the latitude. Second is the snowfall. Third is the direction of the wind. Fourth is the slope. Direction of the wind. Fourth is the slope of the land. Okay, so glaciers are great mass of ice moving under its own weight is called the glacier. Velocity of the glacier is very low and it moves from a few centimeters to a few meters. So types of glacier are continental glacier. Continental glaciers are thick ice sheet. It's a thick ice sheet and land called the continental glacier. Valley glaciers. Now there are the valley glacier also found mainly continental found in the Antarctica and Greenland. Valley are large mass of moving down from the high mountain region to the valley, and these are called the mountain glacier. Glacier in India. The longest glacier in India is Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier in Karakoram Range, and Ganga River originate from the Gangotri Glacier, and Yamuna in the Yamunotri Glacier. Glacial landforms are by the erosion. By the erosion are Cirque, U-shaped valley, and Hanging Valley. It is from the erosion. Because of the erosion, this is the Cirque. Cirque is a bowl shape. Cirque is the bowl-shaped valley on the mountainous from the glacier. U-shape are the resembling the U-shape valley, resembling, and Hanging Valley are valley of tributary glacier hanging downwards. Point of confluence with main valley is known as the Hanging Valley. And deposition of glacier are called the moraines, and there are the moraines also. If there are many deposition, then it is known as the deposition is known as the moraines. Okay, so moraines are terminal moraine, lateral moraine, medial moraine, and ground moraine. Okay, so terminal moraine glacier deposit at the end of valley glacier in the form of ridge is called the terminal moraine, and lateral moraine is a deposit either side of glacier is moraine, and medial moraine is glacier called a median moraine. Confluence of the two glaciers is known as the median, and ground moraine is behind the area once covered in the glacier. So this is the erosional is Cirque, U-shaped valley, and Hanging Valley, and depositional is the moraine.